All right, so I'm on like day 4 of trying to get this stuff across the road done now. I worked at it the other day when we got like 15 inches of snow. I got completely drenched all the way down to the skivvies doing that one. That was awesome. And then I finally gave up, but with 15 inches of snow, I ended up snow blowing 3 times, even with the tractor, just to try and keep up with it. But now I get out of work this morning, got a bunch of paperwork done. Now get some lines up across the road. So I've got 2.5 left for main lines to put up, and one of them is crossing a driveway right here. So work at this one, get the other one up, then I'll get the laterals done today. Someone's got my main line drilled to put saddles on, so I can't do that. But I am going to be trying the H2O saddle using 3/16 tubing for sap ladders. I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ladders total over here. So I'm going to try them. If it doesn't work, I can always just cut them out and go back to 5/16. But here's what I'm working on now. So at the neighbor's house up here, and I'm going from the left side of their driveway up and over. I've got the wire up. I did that yesterday or 2 days ago in the snow, and I just got the pipe up. Now I got to tie the pipe up to the wire, and then this one will be ready. Now I've got a lot of questions on how do I get to the pipe when it's way up in the air. This one's probably 15, 16 feet in the air, so it's about 4 foot off the ground, maybe close to 5 foot off the ground. So it's like a 10-foot lift, something like that. But how do I get up there? Well, I do the non-OSHA compliant use of ladders. So I'll get this up. It's going to be easier for you to see it than it is for me to tell you about it. Not bad, right? I mean, I made it work. The trick of it, you have the ladder almost vertical. That way you're climbing and you're using your body weight to counteract it, to where really it's just balancing up on that wire. So I get across the driveway to the edge. Now I can use my little giant from here because it's not as far. And if I lean in the snow, it's not going to hurt as much as the hard driveway. That main line's done. So I've got to add one more from this side of the property that's going to start up there, come down, go up about a 5-foot ladder. It'll come to here, go up about, it's probably an 8-foot ladder, down to there, up about another 8 foot, and across the driveway, or well, across the road. I am going to put valves on either side of that ladder. That way I can isolate if I need to. If something's wrong over here, I can shut off one side or the other, just like any other main line. But this one's getting closer. That wire's up, but I'm about 50 or 60 feet short of 3/4 main line, and I don't have any more in stock. So just made a phone call. I got some coming, so I'm going to leave this one. It's not going to run this week anyways, so by the time that gets here, I should be all set. And then I've got some in stock anyways. But what I'm going to do is get all these laterals done on this section, because that will allow me to just hook it up once it's time. So most of the laterals are done here. I just ran out of 5/16 pipe, and I've got to go get the kids. Plus I've got to get fuel for the tractor because, well, apparently all of a sudden it's going to snow every day now, which it's already started, so I don't have time to finish that. But one side is almost done. I've got one lateral left over there, and then 3 or 4 on the other side of that driveway. But this piece isn't bad. Now I just need some more mainline. All right, it's like day 5 or 6 now of this project, trying to get across the street done, because it always seems like something comes up and makes it to where I can't get it finished, whether it's snow, whether it's picking up kids and taking them to dance, whether it's delivering syrup. But I'm finishing today that project, other than one piece that I'm missing pipe on, so I guess I'm not really finishing it then, which, never mind. And then I'm going to our Brandybrook Hill Woods to change drops, so that then that piece of woods is ready. Then I'm ready to tap. I have to work tomorrow, so that means I can't tap tomorrow. I may start tapping Thursday, Friday, but it's supposed to be real cold, so I'm not going to tap if it's real cold, but I want to get started because it's time. So I need to get this done across the street. Now, I did have some footage when I was working on it the other day that somehow it didn't record, so you missed some of it, but no, whatever. You'll get the gist of it when I show you. I gotta grab my mainline tool, and one thing that while I'm here, I might just as well show everyone is, the other day I was bottling some syrup and I'm like, hey, I might as well wash the RO. So I put some water in the tank, went to fire it up, and the low pressure pump would kick on, it would run fine. When the high pressure, the 5 horse would go to kick on, it kept tripping and shutting down, but I'm like, I don't know what's going on. So I went to the fuse box, or well, breaker box, and I start looking around and I'm like, that's on, the breaker for the RO, let's check the main. So I start flipping it, and it wouldn't lock off or on. It was kind of in the middle. Things were messed up with it, and it wasn't acting right, but it would shut like half the sugar house down with lights and half back on because you've got 2 legs coming in. So I'm like, I better shut down the main up in the house. So I went up, shut that down, come down, tore it apart, and here's what I found. So here's my breaker here. And when I opened it up, that's what I saw. So that hole right there isn't supposed to be there. There's not one on that side. And then when you look at this side, let me put this down. So, and then in here, this lug is all loose and floating around. So it had burned it all up. I mean, you can almost pull that piece out where you're supposed to secure the wire, and it's been all melted. It's all charred and everything, and it doesn't, like, it goes on, but it won't lock off. It like floats more so on that side. So I'm like, I better do something with this quick. So I pulled it out, and then here's the wire that was in. So I don't believe I wired this. I think a friend of mine did when he was here helping, and it was all pulled back. So there was that much wire exposed. So when it went in, let's see if I can get it in now. It was kind of sitting out with, well, not that much, but get in there. So that's how it would have been inside that box with that much. So I don't know if that had something to do with it. I don't know if it was loose. I'm not quite sure what happened. I know, well, it is a used panel. A friend of mine's an electrician, and he gave it to me to use, which it worked great for. I mean, we built the sugar house in 2013, so it's been in since then. But this main breaker was junk. So pulled it out, went down to the hardware store, bought a new one. Those are expensive, by the way, like $58 for one of these. Put it in, got everything set up, and everything works great now. So it's amazing how when electricity goes where it's supposed to, it works like it's supposed to. So lesson learned, make sure your breakers are good, because that could have been bad. Mainline tool, that's what I come in here for. Don't forget that. And a ladder, I need that too. So here are my farthest taps on the piece across the street from the house. And it goes down and it goes down. There's like, I think I counted 27 taps on this. So I ran the new 3/16 ladders here. These are the ones people have kind of seen online. And you run the H2O saddles going to the top. You run them up, and it's caught on an angle on the bottom, and it goes up. And then it goes up to the top one, and it goes in. But the sap will go up, and it'll fall down, so it can't run back down. So I'm going to try these. If they don't work, I can cut them out and go to the other. But so I did 5 taps per, well, I did 5 lifts. No, I did 5 taps per lift. So for every 5 taps, there's 1 run. So there's 4 going up. I mean, 2 being 2 off isn't bad. So, well, no. I think I'm a little short. I think I'm 1 short here. But I did 4 anyways, going up. And they go up and they come in the top and then they go over. Now, a little bit of a learning curve getting this set up, kind of a pain, but it's not a big deal. So it goes up into that main, comes over, and then what I did is I just had the 3/4 main just run right down and continue on. So I've only got 1 ladder. I don't have to do an up and a down to get over a driveway. It just goes down through the pipe. And on this main, and well, the far main and the second one, all the saddles are hooked up and those laterals are tied in. So this piece is good. Now I've just got the next one, which the total of this is like 37 taps between these 2 pieces. So I'm gonna do probably 7 lifts on this one, which seems like a bunch. It's using 14 saddles and that's a pile of money, but supposedly this is like the most efficient way to lift sap. I'll try it, see what happens. If it doesn't work, like I said, I can cut it out and just go to 5/16 ladders, but this is a short one. This one's only maybe 5-6 feet, so this one will be easy. I feel like I'm doing the walk of shame right now because I've got to go back to the sugar house and I'm not driving the 4-wheeler because it just wears on the tracks for going like 100 yards here, because I've got the wrong drill bit for the mainline drill when I told myself I needed to switch it. So these ones get drilled upside down, clamp it on, it was in the bottom. There's a little bit of a hump right here just because of the way it's hanging onto the wire. So I'm gonna put 3 on this side and then 4 on this side of it so we get the majority of the sap. So these you drill in from the top though. Get these saddles on. So I'll put all the gaskets in first, then I'll put the other thingies, and then it'll be easy. Those are on. These are a little bit more fun because you've got to do it upside down. So things don't just naturally stay in place. So this is a pain, that's for sure. I hook the thingy first. There, those are all on now. It's just a matter of running the 3/16 down to it. So to do this, what I've been doing anyways is I take and I kind of measure up where I want the pipe, and it's about that much, so call it an inch maybe of pipe that goes up, but you cut that thing at a 45. That way when it goes up, it can splash out and it doesn't seal against the top. And I tried pushing them by hand and that doesn't go well at all. It's almost as much fun as trying to jab that elbow into these H2O saddles with just your hand. So it just doesn't work. But so what I did, if you're buying a tubing tool, don't buy a 3/16 tubing tool, even if that's what you're gonna run. Buy 5/16 tubing tools and you take a piece of 5/16 and you put it in there and you just tape it into the jaws. What that does, that's how you see it, probably. What that does is it allows you to use 3/16 pipe. But if you ever get done using 3/16 because it's not as good as what you think it should be and you go to 5/16, then you still have a tool that's good. You don't have to buy another tool because These things are made by the mafia. They're really expensive. So if you only have to buy one, you buy one, not a 3/16 and a 5/16. All right, start with this one. There's that. So now, then you got to go down and hook it to the bottom. So I'm going to come in, and that was the furthest one up there that way. Well, that way. So I'm going to run this one here just so it keeps like a neater look. Wish I could see in that a little bit better to see if it actually lands where it's supposed to, but now it's just up and down the ladder 6 more times to hook more of these in. That's hooked up now, so I ended up somehow skipping it, so I've got one that crosses, but for the most part they all stay straight. So sap will come down here, the vacuum will pick it up, it'll go into that one and down to there, and then there'll be another ladder up there. But I'll hook in these few saddles here that go up, and then I'll go up there and I'll make that ladder up. A valve in here so that I can shut this line down if I want to. So I'm just going to put a 3/4 valve there, right here, so that if I want I can shut that off, check for leaks, if something's wrong down there, it'll just be easier. Now this is easier now because of this. Oh, look at that. No wrench needed. Used to be 4 runs of 5/16, 2 for the right side, 2 for the left side, but now I'm switching it. But what I've got for a problem here is that these holes are drilled in the top for these. So what I think I'm gonna do, because I thought about this for a while, is I'm gonna put a 6-way star on the one from the left, and then I'm gonna run the 5/16 on the ones from the right. What that's gonna do is it'll give me a good comparison to see which one works better. So all I have to do up here, add 2 more 5/16 saddles, and then over there run 2 more. I'll run the 3/16 ladders from there. So this should be a pretty good comparison here to which one actually works better, the star with the saddles or just the H2O saddles with the 3/16. The ladder with these, well, there's 2 ladders here where the left side and the right side come together. 8 3/16 lifts going up maybe 6-8 foot, something like that, with a valve before it, and then a plug at the end. And then the other side I did a 6-way star with 5/16 on this one though, and that's because I already had some 5/16 saddles in up there, so I added 2 more. I don't really need 6. There's not, well, there might be 60 taps over there, but it's one of those that it's probably closer to 50. But I didn't want to have one open port with a plug, so why not just have more? So I did that. I can still isolate. Now, the one thing I'm nervous about with this is that if I get a leak on one side, it'll freeze up the other side because it's going to freeze it up there. But I don't know. I may end up having to put like a T in and kind of separate it, or I may have to do something different up there. I just don't know what yet. We'll try it first this way and then see how it goes. But now I get that one big one on the other side of the driveway on the left to hook up. That one will be, I don't know, probably 8 3/16. We'll see. Finally, this other side of the road is done. I thought I had it all done. Went in, put stuff away, get ready to head out and go to the post office and then go to the Brandybrook Hill Road woods, and realize I hadn't cut these saddles in. So I ran back over. That way this piece, other than the piece I'm missing pipe on, is done. But here is the ladder that goes up. This one's probably a 10 or 12 footer. So I use 3/16, 8 of them going up into that one. Then it goes over to that like 5 or 6 foot ladder that goes across the road. So this side of the road is finally done, meaning all I have to do is set the releaser and I can start tapping here, which is big because I've got 80 tap snow to go check, change drops on, and then I'm done. But I gotta wear snowshoes over there, so I'll get that done because then I'm ready to tap and I can start tapping this week, so it's big. Finally at Burning Brook Hill. Snowshoes are a must because we got more than enough snow here. But let's see how long this takes. Hopefully it doesn't take all my drops because I really don't want to make more. And this one's done. I only changed, well, that many drops, not many. As you can see, I've got some pink ones in here still because I ran out of orange and had to use a roll of pink that well, I didn't really want to because I wanted everything this year to be orange, but, well, I don't hit dingers every day, that's for sure. Not in the maple world, but so I've got, I don't know, a bunch left. I'm ready to go tapping now. So tomorrow I've got to play Billy Big Rigger, dump truck driving. And then, what's today? Monday, Tuesday? Wednesday, I've got to work. So maybe Thursday, but it's supposed to get super cold. So, but I'm ready. This is perfect. Thank God. You want it? It goes over his head, and now he's gonna dig a hole to find it. Did you get it? I don't think so.